as they left Mark there. There is a scene on Mars where Mark has grown the potatoes. There is an explosion that happens without cause, and all his grown potatoes are spoiled. Mark is very upset. All the potatoes left were not enough, which were in his custody. He plans that the food he used to eat in a day, he will have to be eaten in low quantity so he may survive. The NASA agency is seen on Earth, where they have propelled a booster rocket. There were the necessary things loaded and the food for Mark. But a bad happening occur here. That rocket is blasted as it is launched. All food is also ruined. Nothing has been supplied to Mark now. They are worried, and Mark is also disheartened, knowing it. Then he conveys a message to NASA. I am not among those who lose the courage. I will fight until my last breath. He says to inform my parents, if possible, that your son is very dedicated to his profession. He is very satisfied if he loses his life. He fought for this until the last time, and he hugged the worthy death. Now the NASA agency asks for help from China. China gets ready to support them. Their spaceship, which is going to travel after 28 days, will rescue Mark through it. But there is one more man who suggests an idea. The spaceship that is coming to Earth may be heading again to Mars. Mark may come out of the orbit of Mars through that spaceship, which is already on Mars. Then all the astronauts will receive him. But it was such a dangerous idea. According to this idea, other astronauts' lives are also at risk. It means if they go back to take Mark on planet, then it is so dangerous. The NASA agency forbids them to go back. On the other side, Mark is seen, who is busy on Mars. He is still not losing his courage. He is very brave. When the NASA agency observes that the spaceship that was coming back to Earth, it is again returning to Mars, they are very shocked, as they did not direct it. The matter of fact is that the same boy who had presented this idea had requested that the 5 astronauts go back to rescue Mark, because he is your crew member. And many years may pass if we find another way, and you can reach there within a few months. NASA team members get aggressive on this, but the Chinese team tells them that it is a good plan. When Mark is not losing his heart, and these astronauts, who are going to rescue Mark, putting their lives in danger, then who are we to say anything? Now they struggle hard to make their task fruitful with the help of China. Mark comes to know that his team is coming to take him, but his spaceship's fuel is not enough that they may move it on Mars, so he will have to move to the orbit of Mars, repairing his spaceship. In this way, he may accompany his crew. He starts to repair his spaceship, but it is so heavy that he may not be mobile in it until he takes some parts of it out. He starts to do it. Now Mark travels in this spaceship. He is feeling a lack of oxygen there. This spaceship is not properly repaired, so he is having problems while functioning. So he becomes unconscious, and his contact is not made possible with anyone. They all get worried. When he reestablishes his senses and makes contact with other team members, they feel relaxed. NASA, the agency on Earth, was also anxious about this mission. They were praying for Mark and other astronauts' safety. But a new problem happens here. The spaceship on which Mark, he is finding great difficulty controlling its speed. He is upset and thinks, how will his partner receive him? So he says to his crew, don't worry, I am brave. I will reach you soon after resolving the speed issue. Then we see that other astronauts throw their part of the spaceship. As a result, Mark's spaceship speed is slowed down due to its air pressure. At last, they could pick Mark up. On the other side, the lady commander of the spaceship is shown. She was moving toward Mark through the rope from the moving chair. The length of the rope proves short here. Mark is left away from them. He tells them that I will drill a hole in my spacesuit. Mark drills a hole in his spacesuit, so the air begins to enter his spacesuit, and his spacesuit air pressure is increased. He changes his direction and begins to move. At last, he reaches that lady commander. He feels very happy as his life has been saved. He had been rescued. At last, Mark goes into that spaceship. They were all happy as their mission remained successful. After this, the scene shifts, and we see that they eventually land on Earth. Mark becomes the leader of all astronauts. He begins to instruct them. If you are stuck in the space, then what do you have to do? He advises them to remain courageous. Never let your hope die.